Got a folk trio coming in today. They're playing guitars, sort of concertinas, whistles, stuff like that. It's all their own original music. Should be a good project. I've made a bit of a list of the microphones that I think might be useful before they've come in. So the first thing I'm going to do is just set them up on stands and then set the Pro Tools session up, label the desk up and put the coffee machine on. Managed to mic everything up, changed a few things. So to start with, we're going with Mark's got his electric violin.
That's very smart. What a is that?
And then we're taking a DI from that with this radial DI box and we're miking his amp up. We've got Steve on whistle and concertina and also some backing vocals. So to start with, this is just a preliminary thing, it might change. We've got a Cold 4038 and then I'm also using the AEA ribbon mic. Might end up just choosing one of them, we'll just see what works better. And then not positioned these mics yet, but with Keith doing guitar and vocals, we've got a Neumann KM184, a 70s AKG 414 EB, and then we're using a 945, so like a live Sennheiser vocal mic for his vocal. So just need to position these mics on his guitar, and then I'm just going to get them to just play as they normally would, get everything gained up, and then we should be able to start recording. Okay, so we're pretty much ready for the first take now. We've done a little bit of adjustment. I actually swapped the vocal mic. For one, I was getting a bit of a pop on the vocal mic. So swapped the 945 to a 935, which doesn't do that as much. The isolation is not quite as good on the 935, but it's still really good. It just doesn't pop as much. I've put a pop filter in front of the mic as well so that we can hopefully mitigate that as much as possible. I have compressed the vocal on the way in using the Audioscape compressor, barely anything, and then I'm using the distressor on the violin DI. It's not compressing very much. The preamps that I'm using today, I'm using two 1073s on the two vocal mics, so the main vocalist in here. The next one's more like a close whistle mic really, and then we've got the DI going into another 1073 and the guitar amp. Those four channels come in here, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm using the EQ that's on the 1073s here, and then using these EQs, so I'm able to high pass, and then I'm just pulling out a little bit of 100 Hertz. The whistle mic and concertina is coming in on the AEA ribbon preamp. The R88, I'm using the first two channels of the SSL XL Desk, and I've actually switched in the high impedance switch because that just gives a little bit more brightness to the sound. The guitars, I'm using the Cappy preamps, which I find them to be probably the best thing that there is for guitars. So the guys have given me a list of the tunes, which is brilliant. This is what I really need on these sessions. So it's just having a list, and then I'm making a little note which takes we're doing when we're doing them. It just means that we can keep tracks. There's loads of stuff to record. We've recorded a couple of takes and then the instrumentation's changing now. So I'm just going to go downstairs and check out what's going on. So basically the concertina player is going to swap over to the whistle now. I'm hoping that the same mic setup should work. We're just going to have to look at it and listen.
Loads reverb, like it.
That's because of this mic. So I might just see how it sounds.
Sorry, Keith.
It's all right, no, I'll DI'd in for a second.
All right.
So yeah, we'll just see how that sounds then. Of course he stops playing now as soon as you try and have a listen. Okay, so reduce the reverb a little bit. yeah, it's sounding pretty cool. It's maybe coming in a little bit hot. It seems a bit louder than the concertina, so just check that out. And if that's the case, what I'll do is I'll just mark up the gain that I had on the concertina, and then I can go back into that quite quickly without having to mess around. So I've asked the guys to play together to get this whistle sound, because I need to hear it in context. There's no point in me listening to it on its own without hearing it with everybody playing at the same time. So that's what we're doing. This is the compressor that's on the violin, this distressor. You can see this doesn't equate to decibels on the distressor at all. This is okay, just a little bit of compression. Then the audio escape on his voice, he's not singing yet, but when he does, you'll see I'm not really compressing it at all. This compresses a little bit without showing, so you get a little bit of compression off the audio escape even when it doesn't say that it is, that you can hear. Obviously he's not singing now. There you go. If you're lucky, it'll move. It probably won't though. It'll only move when he sings really loud, basically. Part of this is just to get a sound from the audio escape. It's not just about using compression, it's actually that imparts a sound and just makes it sound more finished and ready to go. So it means that I don't have to do that in mixing, which is great. So here we are on day 2. The best thing about recording over 2 days is that obviously once we're in. So these guys can just get going today. They can just start recording as soon as they've got here, after having a brew, obviously. Coming towards the end of day 2, really. It's 20 to 4. The main thing on sessions like this is just trying to keep everyone's energy up for the whole of the day, including my own. You know, I find kind of standing up at this sort of time, making sure I'm keeping notes properly, keeping an eye on things properly. I don't want to miss anything. I don't want to miss a mic going down at this point, which does happen, and it's more likely to happen when you take your eye off the ball for a second. So it's just keeping focus, really, which, you know, caffeine helps, but ultimately it's just, you know, listening to the music, enjoying it. It's good tunes, really. This is great. Please do like the video and subscribe to the channel. It really, really helps me keep doing this if you do that. So just subscribe underneath and like the video. Cheers. Okay, so we've actually finished the tracking now, but we're going to just get some BVs. I've put Keith on this cold. This is actually the mic that we were using on the whistle and concertinas. So I've just brought it over to here to use with Keith. Really important that we use a pop filter now, because the ribbon mic doesn't like gusts of air. That's what kills it. Throwing it on the floor and stuff, it seems to survive in my experience. Eek. But it doesn't like dust. But the ribbon mic, it's just going to give us a different sound. So before we were using the 1073 with the 945, now we're using the ribbon mic through the ribbon pre, and that's just going to give a different tonality to the backing vocal. You don't really need to sing up to it, but just sing normally. Ignore the fact that it's a little bit higher. It's just to get rid of some of the mouth noise, particularly with it being a BV. Yeah. We don't want those things. And you can also think about like the ends of your words. You don't need to have hard ends. No. So if like one of the words is like shed, you can just sing she. And you'll get the D off your lead vocal. Right, okay. Does that make sense? Yeah. So you can actually be a little bit lazier with your BV and it'll sound really cool. Great, and we'll get 2 tracks of this. So everything that you do, we'll do twice, and we'll put that left and then right. We're just getting an overdub of a cajon, just compressing it with this 560 on the way in. So you do that. 500 series button there. Okay, so we've finished the day 2 basically. So we're gonna mix this in a few weeks' time. So make sure that you subscribe to see the video about the mixing session. Hope everyone's had a good day. Everyone happy?
Fantastic day.
Yes, very happy.
Terrific day. Absolutely terrific thing.
Oh, great. Glad you're happy, guys.
Very,
Cool.
very
Yeah,
happy.
really productive 2 days. What did we get? 17
We've got
songs.
17 pieces of music
Yeah,
recorded, yeah.
yeah. Spot on. And we got all the overdubs and all the backing vocals done.
We've done
We're
that.
sorted. Great.
We are delighted.
Thanks for watching. Like I say, do subscribe so that you can see these videos and support the channel. Thank you.